at least for this meeting. So it is being recorded right now. So recording is working.
Awesome. Thank you, Esther. And part of the reason we record this is because not everyone can make it to these meetings. So we not only host the meeting recording, but we also host the slide deck on our Google site. And we have an archive of since when we started these meetings. I think we've only ever missed 2 recordings. So you can go back through and look at all of those. Okay, I've been talking at you. I am Ashley Peak. I am the Somos DLI president. I'm a parent of 2 kids in dual language immersion. One is a 4th grader, one is an 8th grader. I love this program. Along with me, I have 3 other parent counterparts. We have Jacqueline Murillo, our Somos DLI vice president.
Good evening, parents.
We have Bianca Corrales, our secretary.
Hi, everyone.
And our newest member, we have Dr. Sorry, I almost said Sonia. Dr. Stephanie Calvillo, our advocacy representative.
Hi, good evening.
And this group would not be possible without the partnership we have with our wonderful district administrators. Esther Garcia, of course, our coordinator for DLI K-12.
Hi, everyone.
And Patricia Thetford, our TOSA, that stands for Teacher on Special Assignment for DLI K-12.
Welcome, everyone. We're excited that you're here with us.
And I noticed one person that's not in the slides that is at this meeting tonight who does a lot of the behind the scenes. Her name is Erica Square. I just wanted to give her a shout out and make sure she knows we see her and we appreciate her showing up tonight with us. Okay, so a little bit of understanding of why Somos, who are we, what are we doing on this Zoom chat with everybody on this Wednesday night? Somos means we are, of course, in Spanish. Some of the goals of this group are to ensure resources are given to DLI families for success, to foster communication between school sites, parents, and district. Remember, that's from kindergarten through the end of high school. It's a long span of time. To enhance engagement of all stakeholders, teachers, students, parents, admin, everybody. Encourage ideas and opportunities for students, those cultural experiences and maybe personal moments that students won't always get just in the classroom, and to help develop a roadmap for families K through 12 as they travel through different school sites, different school environments, and they grow. Our first speaker tonight is Mr. Jeremy Standerfer, Administrator, College and Career Readiness. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Ash. I appreciate that introduction and welcome everybody. I'm happy to be here and happy to join the group. My name is Jeremy Standerfer. I am the Administrator of College Career Readiness within the Instructional Services Division for RUSD. Basically anything in the college and career world is where our focus is. And that's a lot. But one of the pieces of that is advanced placement testing, because obviously students that perform well in AP courses and on AP exams are better prepared, generally speaking, for college and career life after high school. So I'm here, happy to be here tonight and share I have a few slides to share some information on past AP test scores. Happy to answer any questions that might come along with that. Then I'm also going to talk about that in the context of college and career readiness in general, and some of the definitions in that some of you may have heard of. And hopefully I'm able to provide some information that is new to some of you.
Yeah. Jeremy, just so you know, your slides are already in this presentation, or if you want to present your own, I can stop and give you access. It's however you want.
That's fine, Esther. You can just advance it. That's
okay.
Fine.
Just let me know when you want me to advance.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So, you might have I added a couple pieces to my slides, Esther. There's some new information, so maybe I should share my screen.
Okay.
I do.
So I'm gonna stop sharing, and then I will make you a co-host. So give us 1 minute, parents. Thank you for your patience.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I added a couple of pieces of data points to there this morning.
That's okay. It happens. but give me 1 minute so that I can allow you to, mm,
While we're waiting for Esther to make that change, I'm curious how many of the BILA students are here. Can we have you either wave your hands around or put up the hand emoji so we can see all of your wonderful faces? Wow, there's so many of you guys. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Jeremy, can you tell me what name your Zoom is under?
Yeah, it should be, sorry, it should be the file, the slide.
No, the your name on Zoom.
Oh, it should just be J Standifer, I believe.
J Standard? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Here you are. I found you. Oh, you moved. More.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
That's the beauty of online meetings.
This group, we're used to it. Okay, you should have co-host access, so you should be able to present.
Okay. Just, it's making me do a few extra steps. Okay, hopefully that worked. Let's see. And if not, we'll just go right to the ones you have loaded, Esther, and I can flex on that too. So yeah, it looks like it's being finicky with what it wants me to share. So I'll let you go ahead and share. And I may have to log back in because it looks like it is not happy with that. So I will be right back.
You're on mute, Esther. He can't hear you.
Yes, I'm just asking him to give me 1 second because
To err is human, but to really mess things up, you need a computer.
I like that. That is awesome. That sounded like Eduardo or Arturo.
It is Eduardo.
Eduardo, there you go. Okay. so
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
To share, go for it, Esther.
Okay, I will share right now. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay. And next slide, yeah. Okay, so what you're going to see in front of you is, we'll first talk about AP Spanish language. AP Spanish language is the test, obviously, that students take at the end of their 8th grade year in May for DLI students. And this past year, we had 174 DLI students take that exam in 2025, up from 124 in the prior year, obviously, because that program is growing and that built-in momentum is taking shape as we have more students passing into 8th grade and obviously going into high school. So of the 174 students that took the test in 2025, you can see the results down in the table below. I've also added the 2024 test data. And so what you'll see there is the DLI student score breakdown, the numbers of 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. For those of you that are not familiar with AP tests, that's the scoring breakdown for AP exams. A 1 being what is considered not qualified, a 5 being extremely qualified, and then everything else in between. The number of students in each of the brackets that you can see there for both 2024 and 2025. And then in the far right side, you'll see the pass rate. That's the rate of students that would have earned a score of 3 or higher on that AP exam. 3 being qualified, 4 being well qualified, and 5 being extremely qualified. In 2024, that number was 54% of our DLI 8th graders that passed the AP exam. And last year in 2025, it was 70%. What you're not seeing here, and that's what I had changed on one of the slides, I actually went back and I was able to find the 2023 data as well. The 2023 DLI pass rate that year was 62%. So it went from 62 in 23 to 54% in 24. And then in 2025 last year, it was 70%. In the yellow column, you'll see the overall RUSD pass rate for Spanish language, because remember, not just DLI students are taking the AP Spanish language test. So I was able to pull out those students specifically. That's the blue column. But the yellow column, that's all students. That's the entirety of the district that took the AP Spanish language test that particular year. In 2024, it was 68% that passed that exam. And then last year it was 79%. So to give you some context there, because those numbers don't mean a lot unless there's some context. And then the other piece of context I provided for you all is that last column, which is the overall pass rate for all AP exams that are offered in the district. We had over 5,000 AP exams taken last year. And that percentage or pass rate represents the students that earned a 3 or higher, or the tests that were scored of a 3 or higher for all the tests that were taken in our USD. That includes all content areas, including Spanish language. And the pass rate last year was 63% for all exams. So you can see the DLI pass rate for AP Spanish language actually surpassed the district pass rate for all AP exams. And it came in 9 points behind the Spanish language pass rate for all students that took the Spanish language test. The majority of the students, just for some context as well, that took the Spanish language test last year, the majority of those students are in grades 10 through 12. Most of them are in between 10 and 12th grade. So it's remarkable that our 8th grade students are performing at a level that's remarkably high for a test that's designed for high school students, generally speaking. And then to put a little more context on all things AP exam, generally speaking, and I can answer questions about this, but generally speaking, students that earn a 3 or higher on an AP exam are eligible for college credit. That comes with a very large asterisk, because it depends on the college and it depends on the major of the student when they decide to apply to colleges about what that score or what that passing exam will entitle them to when they do attend college. So it just depends. That's why I put a big asterisk on there. But generally speaking, they would be eligible for college credit with a 3. Other thing I wanted to point out is that the AP exam is set up. So I was an AP teacher for a dozen years in the high school level. I've been an AP coordinator. A lot of people are stuck on the 3, 4, and 5, generally speaking. But as a teacher, I always look at my 2s as well, because those are students that they tag them as possibly qualified, which means they were nearly meets, if you will, if I'm to use a SBAC, term. But those are students that potentially could have qualified, but were missing some component or a section of components in their exam. So just wanted to give that piece of clarification as well, in case you were wondering. All right, go ahead, next slide, and I'll get to the AP Spanish Literature exam next. The AP Spanish Literature test, these are offered for our students in 10th grade, so our DLI students in 10th grade take this exam. Big difference between Spanish Lit and Spanish language. Spanish language has a reading, a listening, and a speaking components that are tied to it. The AP Spanish Literature does not. It has a listening piece, but it's basically a writing and reading exam for the most part. And obviously it's a literature class, it's a literature test. So it's distinctively different than the AP Spanish language test. It'd be comparable to taking AP English Lit as a junior in high school, which many of our juniors in our USD take. Obviously, though, the target language is in Spanish instead of English. So it's a very rigorous, it's an academically rigorous test. So I just want to make that was really clear as well. We had 101 DLI test takers in 2025. There were 68 the year before. I only have 2 years of data to share. The pass rate, you can see there in the blue column, same thing in the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. The DLI pass rate is there. The RUSD pass rate for Spanish literature is also there. You can see actually last year, the DLI students outperformed their peers in Spanish literature. And then the overall AP pass rate, which was the same as I shared in the last screen as well. Okay, and then the last slide I wanted to talk about, go ahead, Esther. The last slide I have here is, it dovetails off of that AP Spanish piece. The state of California, California Department of Education, uses 7 different metrics generally to determine if students are well prepared for college and career. So these metrics are how they measure graduating classes. And so students in each graduating class are measured against these metrics for attaining preparedness for college and career. There's three I wanted to highlight. I put them in yellow because they are directly related to AP exams and AP courses. The first way, which is number 2 on this list, is students, if they complete all their A through G courses, which when you have high school students, these are students that take the regular rigorous course path that we offer in RUSD. If they complete those courses with C's or better, they're deemed to have completed their A through G courses, which is what the UC's Cal State system universities require students to complete. And if they complete those plus take an AP course and pass it with a grade of C, or pass an AP test with a 3 or higher, they are deemed to be academically prepared for college and career. The second way that I've highlighted here is passing 2 AP tests or passing 2 AP courses with a grade of C or better. Students in DLI are really well set, obviously, to meet that criteria there. And then the last one is the seal of biliteracy. And the seal of biliteracy, there may be more questions on that, but that piece is for students that have both shown academic preparation for English language arts, so they're showing it's prepared for English language arts, as well as a target language. In this case, for our DLI students, that would be Spanish. So if those students pass an AP exam in high school or in 8th grade in Spanish, as well as maintain a B average in their English language arts courses, the course of high school, those students would be eligible for the seal of biliteracy. That's a state seal that the state of California puts on the diplomas of our high school graduates. That plus a 3 on the SBAC, or the CASP test they take in their junior year, would qualify them for college and career readiness as well. Many students will meet multiple of these metrics as well. So I just wanted to put that in context with those AP scores as well. And that is the gist of my presentation, Esther. I'd be happy to entertain any questions that might have been generated by that presentation.
Okay, Miss Ashley, would you like to?
Yes,
Ask
thank you so much. Thank you, Esther, and thank you, Jeremy. It's so encouraging to see those test results, especially from the last 2 years, which I feel like are still, our students are growing out of the bump in the road that they had. That was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see them outperforming in lots of ways. I have a question for you, but I'll make it wait for a moment so I can read this first question in the chat for you. They're asking if an 8th grader gets a 1 or a 2, can they retake that AP test in 9th grade? And then similarly, if the the literature AP test in 10th grade, can they redo it in 11th or 12th?
Great questions. And the answer is generally yes. So students can take an AP exam that they didn't pass 1 year and take it a following year. College Board doesn't put any limits on the ability to do that. Same thing with the literature test in 10th grade. If they wanted to take it in 11th grade, they could do that as well. And so there would be no limitation on that. So no, the answer is no. The answer is yes, they could retake it.
Okay, thank you. And then if I'm not seeing any other questions just right off the bat, I would like to ask, what do we attribute as a district to the rising scores over the last few years? Is there one mechanism that maybe brought that change, or the influx of students to the program? What would you say it might be?
Well, that's a great question, and it's probably a more nuanced answer, honestly, because there's probably multiple factors that contribute to that change in test scores or the ability of students to do well. I think that the data shows that because there's so few students that score a 1, that the students are being, in my opinion, prepared, obviously, for that exam. The language acquisition that goes on during that time, and I know Esther can speak much better to this than I can as an expert in this field, but that language acquisition is bearing out in that academic test that they're taking in 8th grade. So it's hard to say, because the 3 years is hard to pinpoint a true trend. I really would like to have 10 years of data to really say, okay, how does that change? Also wanted to point out, College Board has also made some changes in how they score the exams in the last 3 or 4 years. And so whereas pass rates may have been very low, very challenging in years past, recently they've changed their norming, if you will, and norming it meaning like their cut points for scores have morphed over the years. And so it's hard, that's kind of the lens which we would look through that as well, looking at that historic data. So, but I don't know, Esther, maybe you would like to jump in on terms of attributing instructional practices that may have also be in play here that would contribute to that gain.
Yes, sure, of course. One of the factors that I do attribute to our attaining and maintaining actually high academic achievement, Miss Ashley, parents, Jeremy, it's truly the number one is the parent commitment to our program. We have such a strong network of parents in our DLI program in Riverside Unified School District. And the not only their commitment, but their support to the program is also very, very strong. So parents, kudos to you, because being in this program for 6 years now, I see your commitment, I see your passion, I see your support of your children, and most importantly, I see your advocacy for our program and for your children to maintain this academic success in our DLI. We are also very committed, as you all know me and Patricia, we are very, very committed to our teachers, training our teachers, working with our teachers, visiting every single classroom. This year, I was able to visit every single classroom. In past years, I'll miss 1 or 2 classrooms or even a whole school. This year, we were successful in visiting every single classroom, Patricia and I, providing the feedback that we need, which is important, but also seeing the dynamics of our classrooms and the commitments of our teachers. Not only do parents love our program, our teachers love our program. And wherever we saw a need, we addressed it right away, and we are already working with those teachers. Our teachers being willing to come and work with us after school till sometimes 6:30 p.m., which is hard. You have a full day of class and work, and then you come to work with Patricia and I till 6:30 in the afternoon. So that takes true commitment. So like Jeremy said, there are many factors to the success of our USD DLI program, but we could not do it without our parent support and the collaboration that we have between parents, district staff, and programs like our college and career readiness. I mean, this is the second time that Jeremy's department is here supporting our DLI program. So thank you to our parents, thank you to our staff, thank you to our community, and to all of our programs in our USD for working and collaborating with us to continue this success.
Master, can I add something to that?
Yes, of course.
So, both of my kids were in DLI. I only have a daughter in DLI now, but I know one thing that did change, that really helped a lot of students was the middle school started coming out to the elementary schools, probably right before, like probably like January-ish, and talking to the parents, and they would bring along a group of teachers with them to kind of prepare our DLI students as far as what is required of them and the parents, and what AP looked like, and kind of giving them a more detailed of what was going to be expected from them and the work that was in front of them, and how much support the students were going to need from the parents to make it happen so that they could pass the AP test. And it also enlightened the teachers as far as what was required of the students and what they were going to need in middle school to make that happen as well. So then the teachers had a better idea as far as what to focus on and help the students focus on. And I think that was a major change. So I know, like in the last 3 years, because my daughter's 8th grade now and my son is a freshman now, so that was 3 years ago. That, and it was like right after the kids were coming out of COVID and really getting back into Spanish and in person. And so I think that definitely helped a lot with our students, our parents, to get a better understanding of the AP test and what it was going to require, and that it was going to be really a hand-in-hand collaboration with the teachers, students, and parents to work together and to really give the kids like a good supportive system to get through that. So I thank my kids go to Sierra and Ramona. I thank them for coming in and really giving a detail about what AP was going to require of those students. So I don't know if Gage does that or if the other middle school does that, but that's what Sierra did for my kids who are at Jefferson before that. So I think that really was a really good key factor that helped those students.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, Bianca. And you know, you just reinforced the collaboration that we have between parents, school, and our staff, Patricia and I, because we do work closely with our AP teachers. And my message, coincidentally, about 3 years ago, became that preparing students for our AP courses, not necessarily for the test, because if we prepare our teachers to prepare our kids for the course, then they should be successful in the exam. But preparing kids for the AP courses does not begin in 7th grade. It starts in kindergarten. And that's our message. That's Patricia's and my message, that it starts in kindergarten. So one of the things that we've done is we are working K-6 in training teachers that the type of language, the type of academic rigor that our kids are going to see in the 8th grade and 10th grade in our AP courses, it really starts in kindergarten. So we focus on the standards. And not only us, we have a district-wide standards-based focus where our teachers are being trained, and we're seeing the success in making sure that the standards, the academic state standards, are being taught in every single classroom, not just DLI, but in every single classroom. In DLI, we do it in both languages. But thank you.
Thank you, Esther. We have a two-part question. What course are they taking in middle school that prepares them for the AP test or placement in high school? And part two is, does the AP test in 8th grade exempt students from having to fulfill the E requirement for high school diploma and four-year university? From Liliana.
I can take that question. Well, I can take part of it, Esther, if you want to jump in as well. So the students take AP Spanish language in 8th grade. And so that just taking that class alone and passing that class, Spanish and math, or foreign language or language other than English, and math are the only two subject areas that students, if they complete certain courses in middle school, actually count on their high school diploma or towards their high school diploma on their high school transcript. So once the students finish that class in 8th grade, assuming they pass that course, they've already met their E requirement for the UCA through G, and they've also met the graduation requirement with regards to that language other than English. That language other than English is actually packed into a couple of things. CTE courses is another way to meet that requirement for graduation purposes as well. So the students do already meet that requirement, though, yes. So generally speaking, the answer is yes. The other part so I guess I answered both parts of the question. So yes, the course does do that.
You did, Jeremy. Thank you.
And I think also, if I can add to that, one of the courses that our students take in middle school that helps them prepare also for the AP exam or even for the course is the pre-AP Spanish class that they do take in 7th grade. Like Esther said, students are preparing, for Spanish and for that academic, knowledge and that academic growth from kindergarten all the way through 6th grade. And then once they reach that middle school, 7th grade, they take pre-AP Spanish. Therefore, that prepares them even further to get ready for that AP Spanish language and culture class in 8th grade.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
all
much.
for the wonderful information. Oh, go ahead, Jackie.
I was just going to thank them and let them know that there was no other questions in the chat for now.
Well, thank you again for having me and giving me the opportunity to present. Appreciate it. Thank you both, Esther and Patricia, too. And thank you, Ashley.
Thank you very much for being here. Part of the reason we do this work is so that we can unite all of these DLI families across the city and get the same information all in a one-stop shop. So we really appreciate the clarification and the willingness to show test scores. That's not always an easy thing to come on and talk about, but it is when they're great.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely
thank
something
you.
to celebrate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Okay. Getting back into it with our next presenter, we have a favorite here at Somos DLI, Miss Susanna Zamudio, probably a favorite to most in RUSD, to be honest. She's part of the Family Resource Center. Welcome.
I can't see if she's here yet. Susanna, are you here? Okay, maybe we can wait and I can move on to, no, she has a lot of slides today, so.
Yes, we can wait and jump to yours. We have 80 people here tonight, so it's hard to flip through all the faces and try to find her.
I know in the presentation mode, it's not as easy for me to go into the attendees. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to give some updates to give Susanna some time to come into our meeting. But some DLI updates that we have. The first one is intent to transition to middle school and high school. Parents of sixth grade students and eighth grade students, if you intend to stay in our DLI program and your children are moving into our DLI middle school and high schools, you do not have to do anything. That is the great news. You absolutely do nothing. But if you still have a concern or questions, please feel free to email me or give me a call. I have been receiving many calls, and the parents, I can actually hear them like that sigh of relief, like, okay, then they move on, right? But if you plan on leaving our program, which if you call me, I will definitely convince you not to, complete the opt-out form only if you are leaving our program. If your child is transitioning to DLI, like I mentioned, you do not have to do anything. We do everything in transitioning your children to middle and high school. We will submit your child's name to their DLI pathway school. So for sixth grade, if you're transitioning to Sierra, Gage, or University Heights, I will send your child's name to the schools. High schools, Ramona, North, and Poly, I will send your child's name to the schools. We will request all transfers for students who need one. Not every child will need a transfer to a DLI school. If the DLI school is your school of residence, you do not need a transfer. So we will not request, of course, those transfers. And I've actually already sent your child's name to all of the middle schools, high schools, and requested the transfers already. We've submitted their names if they need a transfer to our transfer department. So everybody already has those names. If you need to opt out of our program, the QR code is here for the application. It's a survey. It's a very short survey, or the actual link is also below. You will see the bit.ly link. It's a very short survey, just letting us know whether you're going to continue with us or not, or if you are seeking a transfer to a different school that is not DLI. And then we will remove your child from the DLI program. The good news is I've only had 4 parents who've completed the form, and they're leaving our program, not because they want to leave our program, but because they're actually leaving our district. So very sad that they are leaving our district, and I mean, they don't have a choice. So, but so far we've had out of the many students that we have enrolled in 6th grade and in 8th grade, most of them are moving on to DLI in one of our DLI schools. So thank you, parents. Fall application, as you know, completely closed December 19th, and I am almost done reviewing almost 500 applications this year. We've had many applications this year with great news for all of our schools. We have great numbers for all of our schools. It did close December 19th, and parents will be notified by the end of January, by next week, actually, by the end of next week. I cannot believe January has gone by so fast. But by the end of next week, we are almost done, as I mentioned, reviewing every single application. Yes, I do review every single application because we do find a few errors here and there, not in every application, but in some applications. And the other thing that I have to do is I do have to verify that the school you're telling me is your school of residence. It is actually your school of residence. If it's not, this is really important. If you tell me that Castleview is your school of residence, but in fact it is not, and I don't request a transfer, it can affect when I accept your child, it can affect the acceptance. It can delay the start of your child in the school. There are many challenges that can come our way. So I have to actually check to verify that the school of residence is in fact your school of residence. If it's not, but that is your first choice, then we will place you on the transfer list so that we can help you get a transfer. Doesn't mean I'm going to completely eliminate you from the list. That's not what it means. It just means if you need help, I'm there to help you. If you don't need help because that's your school of residence, then you don't need help with a transfer, okay? But I'm almost done. The list will be sent out to the lottery, hopefully by the end of Friday, by Friday. And it's a quick turnaround. It's a 2 to 3 turnaround. As soon as I get it back from the lottery, then the notices start going home. So we will start sending out the notices by the end of January. So my apologies for the very long process and the very long wait, but it is a very long process and it is very time consuming, but we're almost done. Important dates to keep in mind, parents. Our next Somos DLI is March 18th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. President's Day, it's a holiday, so we have a 4-day weekend coming up in February. February 13th and 16th are holidays. Please put those on your calendars because your children will not be at school on those days. English language proficiency assessment. I don't have the assessment results for this assessment. This is just an announcement that this assessment for English learners only will begin February 2nd and will go through the end of the school year, which is around May 22nd. I don't have the closing date, the exact district closing date, but it should be closing at the end of the school year. Spring break is also coming up. Once you know it, spring break will be here March 23rd to 27th. Also mark your calendars because your children will not be at school on this week.
Thank you, Esther, for the information. I wanted to add one comment on the application process in case there are new families here that are waiting patiently to get that letter in the mail that says their child was accepted to DLI. If there's a wait list at that school, there's always a chance that you might get called in the summer and maybe that space is opened up for your student. We were one of those families when my daughter started kindergarten. I think there were maybe over 70 people on that wait list. We were number like 72, which I assume meant 70 people. And we got called. So you never know, and just stick with it. And hopefully you get to join because it is just such a wonderful program and process and tight-knit little family that these kids get to grow through 13 years of school. And that's how I met all the other wonderful ladies on this call. So don't lose hope.
Yeah, we were also on the wait list, guys. So There's hope. There's hope. I swear. And Susana is on the meeting now.
Oh,
Esther.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking. I think I am almost done with, so we hope to see you all on March 18th, but I will come back to this slide to make sure you put it on your calendar and to make sure you will join us on March 18th for our last Somos DLI meeting of the school year. And now we can have Susana join us and present her wonderful opportunities, parent and workshops opportunities from the FRC.
Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here and sharing so many things that it's happening this month of January. So just a little reminder that we do put everything in Parent Square, and the details, the registration for that webinar, it's right there just with one little touch, right? And what we are noticing is that, for example, we may have 120 registrants for RCC next Monday, right? And we already know that maybe like 40% show up. So maybe a little reminder is maybe put a little alarm in your because it happened to me just now, right? I'm getting ready for a webinar and totally forgot that I had to be here with you. Next slide. So I'm just sharing a little bit of what's happening this month. In February, we are doing an in-person parenting class called Opening Doors. Beautiful curriculum is for parents or families that have children 0 to 6, and it's 10 topics. It's a national recognized curriculum. It's here at the Family Resource Center. Is at 9 o'clock on Tuesday starting February 17. So if you or you know someone that has a child between 0 to 6, that is a target. Now, you may have a kid that is 10 years old and you just want a little bit of more tools to, with your 10-year-old, you're welcome. Okay. That's just the target. The next. In February, we also have Riverside University Health System has a beautiful 10-week curriculum called Nurturing Parenting, and it's going to start February 5th. This is virtual. It's 10 weeks. It goes super fast, but you can see the topics right there. It's just really nice. When I spoke with one of the staff members who is a facilitator, it's like alternatives to spanking, right? A lot of times as parents, we just may not know how to deal with a situation. This is a wonderful classes where you will be learning many skills that you will be keeping forever. So this Nurturing Parenting, again, is a 10-week curriculum parenting class, and it's focused more on the elementary, maybe middle schoolers. Next. Okay, so every child in California not every child. You have to, in 2022, they were, I'm sorry. A In 2022, the districts were able to send to California children that were eligible during that pandemic, right? So you need to check if your child has a scholarship, and they can be in fourth grade, and then you can open the account and that money can attain some interest. Also, if I've seen families that maybe one kid is eligible and the other one, so you just need to call Cal Kids California. But this is just information meeting Monday, February 23rd. The next. So many families need help either finding a daycare for their children, or they want to start a daycare in their house. So this is also a great opportunity to start your own business. Riverside County Office of Education will help you and give you all the tools. The orientation or the information meeting is February 25th, Wednesday. February 4th, two of our psychologists from RUSD they're going to do a one-time standalone workshop on February 4th at 9 o'clock. The title is Unlock Your Child's Full Potential. Beautiful webinars that these two ladies always brings us. So hopefully you can sign up for that 1 hour, 9 to 10 through Zoom. Uh, RUSD Nutrition Services is doing nutrition classes in person here at the Family Resource Center. For those that don't remember or don't know, we are located on the Riverside Adult School campus on Magnolia Avenue, 6735 Magnolia. Next Tuesday, the 27th, is their third class. It's not like a series that you need to go to all 5 classes, but next Tuesday, they are going to talk about shopping on a budget, and great opportunity for you to ask any questions regarding nutrition services. Next. This is great for you as parents of DLI because this is an opportunity. This will be in Spanish, and obviously the facilitator also speaks English, but they're gonna focus on Spanish in the class. But the books are bilingual. When you open the book, one side is in English and the other side is in Spanish, and every week you get a new book and you can keep it. In addition, there's arts and crafts, and there is an opportunity just to get that love for reading, right? Recommended for parents that have from TK or preschool to 4th grade. And this is in person starting Monday the 26th. So that's next Monday. Just show up. RCC will be having their last information meeting on the Promise program Monday the 26th at 6:30 through Zoom. Next. And Schools First Federal Credit Union started last Thursday 4 topics. Again, you don't have to come to the 4. You can just look at the topics and say, hey, I really need. Last week was taking control of your finances. Tomorrow we have a 9 o'clock and we have a 6 o'clock. And the topic is understanding credit and credit scores. PIQUE, Parent Institute for Quality Education, is going to start at Chemawa. So if you know anybody from Chemawa, this is, I always say it's like AVID for parents. It's the opportunity to really learn about, GPA, college requirements, student workload and expectations, common core state standards, working with school counselor, tools and resources, and awesome opportunity in the middle schools before they go into high school and do that 4-year plan. If you're not from Chemawa, but you are RUSD, you're welcome. Nobody will say, hey, you don't belong here. They will be doing in the morning in person, and at night it will be virtual. And that's right now. In 5 minutes, we're going to start digital literacy, AI. Wow, what great information about artificial intelligence. I saw it this morning, and they had one last semester, but they added more things to it. If you have an opportunity to finish this and then come over, we will be here in Zoom. Next. And Beatty Elementary, same thing. Parent Institute for Quality Education, strategies to build student positive self-esteem, tools to navigate the school system, prepare college going plan for an elementary. Beatty is going to have it in the morning in person and at night virtually in the curriculum for elementary. Next. And Wednesday of next week, co-parenting for your kids. We all know that we have families that, for whatever reason, they're not together, but it's so important for them to be there for their children or child. And one of our SAP counselors, Caitlin Medina, who is a therapist, will be doing this webinar next week, co-parenting. So a great opportunity. Next. And next week also, understanding emotional and behavior changes in children ages 0 to 6. Make sure that you go and get the details at in Parent Square. And I think that's it.
Can you hear me?
No, I think that's it. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I'm starting a webinar. This is a support group for parents with children with mental health, emotional, and behavioral challenge. Once a month, we have this support group in person. That's it. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you can join us in the artificial intelligence webinar in 5 minutes.
Susanna, thank you so much for going through all of that. Do you have the link for the AI webinar? It might be hard to pull off the slides.
Let me
can
put it. I'm going to put it in the chat, and also all these are in Parent Square.
They're in Parent Square, and they're also on our Somos DLI Google site where we post the slide deck and the recording from the meeting. So you can have access to all of it. Any questions before she runs to her next session? Crickets. Okay, Susanna, please add that link. And thank you so much, always being with us. You're our favorite coming back. Don't want to pick favorites, but you're kind of the favorite. And you always offer such wonderful information for our families.
She's been on meetings since this morning. I saw her this morning when I picked up flyers. So she's been
I believe it.
Woman.
She's always got energy.
favorite.
Yeah, you're always
Yes.
authentic and positive, and I don't know where you get your energy from. So tell me what coffee you drink so I can switch. Thank you. Okay, moving along, I think we're kind of at the very end of our meeting here. We don't have really anything else to share that we have planned. This is our final slide, which just has some contact information. If you want to get a hold of me, that's my personal email address. We also have Esther Garcia's Riverside Unified address. That Somos website we've been talking about, the link is there as well. I can maybe pull that off of my internet browser to put in the chat if you guys would like to find it. It is a Google site, so I think you can search it that way. We also have an Instagram and we have a Facebook group if you ever want to get in contact with us there. And it looks like there's a few questions that are popping through as I've been talking. Let me pause. One person is asking about the test in Spanish for high school. Is that just given for 10th grade? There are 2 AP tests, and we did talk about that earlier in the meeting, and maybe Esther would like to clarify the answer for that question.
Yes, the AP Advanced Placement Spanish test is in Spanish, and it covers the listening, the speaking, the reading, and the writing, all 4 language domains. And students are scored on the assessment, and if they pass the assessment with a 3, a 4, or a 5, then they pass the, they're giving credit, and they're also giving college credit. And they do take it, by the way, in the 8th grade and in the 10th grade. And if they don't pass, then they do get another opportunity to take the test. I hope I answered the question.
They did clarify, is there any resource for that one? For the, looks like the 10th grade test, he's asking specifically. There are lots of resources that they're given along the way, but specific, you might have to maybe be more specific in the question that you're asking, if it's a class or like a booklet to study from or something like that.
Yes, we do have plenty of resources. If he wants to email me, my email is right here on the slide. So please, parents, feel free to email us, and we will share any resources that we have. We can also coordinate for the teachers to share resources with you.
Thank you, Esther. And that gave me a moment to be able to add the Google site to our chat here in case you want to grab it. If you forget, please find us on Facebook, and we always post it there as well. I want to say thank you to everyone that came tonight, the BILA students, our presenters, our board, our interpreter, Thank you, everybody, and all 83 of us that were here tonight. We appreciate you spending a few of your hours with us this evening. Have a nice afternoon, or no, evening. Go enjoy yourselves. Eat some dinner.
Ashley, somebody had asked if all the flyers were going to be available. I think they're on the RUSD website if you go under Family Resource Center, right?
Yes, they're also listed under the FRC section of the RUSD website. If you can't find them in any of the other places we listed, like in the slide deck, that will be on the Somos page, or if you don't have access to Parent Square, you can find them on RUSD's page, or reach out to us and we'll get them to you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening. Happy Wednesday.
I'm sorry, am I to understand that the slides for this this evening can be found in the Somos website?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go on the website, I can walk you through it right now. There's a section called Archive. You click on that and scroll down just a little ways, and you will see slide decks from every previous meeting that we've had. You should be able to view those as anybody. You don't need special access. And then there's also video recordings for, I think, all but 2 meetings.
Okay.
So you can follow along, watch the recording, and check out the slide deck. They are unfortunately not transcribed, the recording. I believe it's the English side, but that's something we can work on and hopefully fix in the future. If you already know how to do it, let me know. That would be really great. You can make both available.
Thank you for attending, Eduardo. We appreciate it. He's one of our Baila students.
Thank you. I'm trying. So where exactly is the Somos website?
So we put it in the chat. You should be able to open that link.
There's just so many things in the chat. I've gone to a few of those
Right here?
HHPs and they've.
Yeah. If you take
again.
a picture of this, or yes, or we can copy it.
Yes.
Let me know if that link works for you, and then go through to the archive section.
And then we can also send it to you, Eduardo, via email or via Canvas.
Thank you so much.
We can add the slide deck presentation through Canvas.
Yes.
We'll do that for the classes.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Gracias,
Thank
profesora.
you.
Gracias.
Have a good evening.
Gracias.
The end of the meeting is always like those card games that just close really fast. I like to watch it all. Do you have a question?
No, I say it's gonna be in the Canvas, right? Yes.
So we're Esther and I will share the slide deck because we have access to it, but we'll not only share it with our candidates, but we'll share with all the candidates.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Good evening. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
So Ashley, Patricia and I are teaching the Baila class. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I wondered you knew so many of their voices even.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to see them here, and we'll make sure that they get this information.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, it was really cool to have them here. A nice surprise and encouraging to know there's that many students going through the programs for future teachers.
Yes. Yes. Well, for future DLI teachers, because we need our teachers to be authorized to have the bilingual authorization. So this is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you both for doing all the things you do and teaching a whole class on top of it. I'm not surprised, but thank you for doing it. You're hardworking ladies.
Of course, of course. Okay, so thank you. Thank you again for a wonderful meeting, and we will see you all back in March.
We'll see you in March.
Yeah.
Yes, hopefully sooner. Let's do something.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Let us know if the recording works.
Mm-hmm.
Have a nice evening.
It looked like it did. And then I did call Carolina Perez is her name. She's amazing. So, and I did call her to let her know that last month I was not able. And then when I troubleshoot, it told me that it was due to space. We just ran out of space.
And recording Esther right now?
but she opened up. No, you don't get it right now.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to wait a couple of hours, a few hours
No,
actually.
I think
No,
it's
I
still
understand. I'm
recording.
saying it's still recording. Did you want to stop the recording?
It's still recording. I did stop recording. It's paused, Patricia.
Oh, okay, perfect, because it does show that it's still recording on my end, so, okay.
Oh, I don't know why I don't know why. Do you see it?
I
Yes,
see it. I
recording.
actually can
But
click
it
on
says,
stop.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because
Want
I
me to
can
click
see
on
it.
stop?
Yeah.
perfect.
Let me try. It says